Now then, I'll get things ready, so wait right there.
After arriving at his house, Shiraishi disappeared into the back.
This might be too big.
He's mumbling to himself, but I have no idea what he's doing. I'd been dragged around by him all this time, so it wasn't like anything would surprise me now. Although, this was still Shiraishi, so there's a chance he'd do something completely abnormal. And while I thought about it over and over, Shiraishi came back with something in his hands.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Here you go.
He handed me a navy blue sweatshirt, sweatpants, and a towel. What's this?
It's your change of clothes. It's a bit big, but it's better than it being small, right?
Change of clothes?
You can use anything you need in the bathroom. Go ahead and take a bath if you want.
Wait a second! Why would I be taking a bath at your place all of a sudden?
Huh? Isn't taking a bath the most effective way to relieve some fatigue?
I do think it's pretty effective, but...
Yeah, I know, right? So, just take it easy. I'll take care of the rest in the meantime.
But I didn't say I'll take...
The bathroom is that way. The toilet's next to it.
He's not listening to me. Shiraishi went into the kitchen and I was left alone in the room. I guess he just wants me to take a bath because it'll help me relax. Still, wouldn't you have someone take a bath in their own house? Even for Shiraishi, this didn't make much sense. He could have done this so many other ways. Normally, I'd just refuse and go home. But it seems like Shiraishi thought it through in his own way before bringing me here. I'll just accept his show of goodwill. While I was still feeling apprehensive, I headed to the bathroom. 30 minutes later. This is really embarrassing. The sweats that I borrowed from Shiraishi were too big for me. Even after I folded the sleeves, it was still baggy. I never really noticed it before, but Shiraishi is pretty fit. I pulled up the loose pants while thinking that to myself. Once I entered the bath, I pretty much immediately regretted it. I thought I heard Shiraishi's voice, so I headed into the kitchen.
I thought it looked easy, but it's pretty hard.
Shiraishi was standing in front of the stove using a frying pan lid as a shield.
Oh, are you done? You could have relaxed a bit more.
What are you making?
It's no good. You should stay where you are.
He stopped me when I tried to get closer, so I reluctantly backed away. I glanced down and saw something resembling charred beignets. What was that? I looked into the frying pan, and Shiraishi jumped in front of me again.
Just go wait on the sofa over there. Don't come into the kitchen, okay?
All right. I get the feeling that I shouldn't object, so I turn around.
Huh? Did you shrink?
I did not!
It could be because of the outfit. How do I put this? It's pretty cute.
With my sleeves drooping, I headed over to the sofa. Why did I take his cute comment at face value? He said it another time before, and he was just teasing me. I sat on the sofa and clasped my hands on my knee. I'm sure he doesn't mean those words the way a normal person would. I just decided to interpret it the same way I did everything else he said, and paid it no mind. But for some reason, my cheeks were still hot and wouldn't cool down. But Shiraishi is definitely acting strange. He was more open and his tongue's not as sharp. His actions were also different too. I'm only nervous because he's acting strangely, and because this situation is just odd. Otherwise, I wouldn't be so bothered by it. While I was lost in thought, the sound of oil splattering and the smell of something burning returned me to my senses. The state of affairs in the kitchen started to worry me. I wonder what Shiraishi's making. Actually, does he even know how to cook?
Thanks for waiting. I think it turned out all right.
While saying that, Shiraishi placed something on the table with a defeated look on his face. Rolled omelet? An object with burnt edges was placed in front of me. What I had thought were charred beignets before were actually his attempt at rolled omelets.
You said you liked rolled omelets before. I thought it'd help you if you ate something you like.
Huh? This is for me?
But how did it end up like this just by me cooking it on the frying pan? This isn't edible. Oh well, I'll throw it out.
What are you doing? Don't!
Why? There's an extremely high probability that this will not taste good.
If you cut off the burnt parts, it's still edible.
It might be weird to hear this coming from me, but it's not worth eating.
That's not true. You tried your best to make this, Shiraishi. That in itself makes it worth eating. I tear off the burnt parts with some chopsticks. See? It's perfectly edible.
Fine, if you insist. Go ahead.
Don't mind if I do. I take a bite. The sweet seasoning surprises me. This...
I tried adding sugar to get closer to the way you seasoned eggs. What do you think?
It's good. That makes me feel happy. Thank you. Lots of words come to mind, but I couldn't say them out loud. It could be because I felt timid right now, but emotions began to fill my heart.
What's the matter, Ichika? Oh, did it taste so bad you're speechless? I told you you didn't need to eat it. Man, I shouldn't do things I'm not used to. I'll go buy you something in place of that.
Shiraishi? Because your attitude and words stick out as different, others aren't able to see it. I think you're a very kind person.
What's with you all of a sudden? You have a fever? I didn't put anything weird in the eggs.
At first, I didn't understand you. I honestly suspected you as an Adonis collaborator. Right now, I don't think that's true. I may not look like it, but I trust you. I'm glad that I'm able to conduct investigations with you, Shiraishi.
I don't understand you. You're calling me kind all of a sudden? Knowing you don't have any ulterior motives, so that must mean you really mean it? Anyway, don't worry about me, at least for today. Do you feel better now?
Yes, I do. It's thanks to your old omelets.
You're exaggerating. I wish I could have done something more considerate for you.
You tried to cheer me up, and you put some thought into what you could do. So you invited me to your home, right?
Something like that. Is it unlike me to do so?
Yes. I thought you were acting weird, but it also cheered me up.
I see. This is all I can do right now. I thought I could do mostly anything. With you, I'm fumbling with everything. It's really not like me. Man.
He extended his arm to me and patted me on the head.
I want you to continue smiling. I never want to see you sad. Those kids today really got you twisted up, but in the end you followed your own convictions. I don't have the same conviction as you. I would never feel pain for someone else. That's why I really don't understand your pain. And that makes me feel miserable.
His expression and words seemed frustrated. Even though he couldn't understand, he tried to. I could feel him putting in the effort, and that made me hurt. Shiraishi has changed. He was showing me his true self. He was opening up his heart to me. That simple fact made me so happy I wanted to cry.
You might get mad at me treating you like a child, but you did well today. We're the only ones here right now. You can say whatever's on your mind. I'm not so fragile that your words can hurt me. I'll accept anything you throw at me.
The back of my eyes got warmer. I tried to suppress the trembling of my shoulders, but it was useless, and tears began to fall. Being kind to me right now, it isn't fair.
Well, me being unfair to you isn't exactly something new.
His words were mean, but the fingers that wiped away my tears were kind. I realized that what I can do in relation to X-Day is so minor. Adonis said they'd bring about a rebirth of Japan. If that is their declaration to judge evil that escapes punishment by law, will we be able to stand up against someone who follows such principles? I know that we can't leave things as is. I know that I have to change. I was feeling frustrated. Expelling my feelings all at once seemed to lighten my heart a little. Shiraishi seemed to hesitate for a moment before he started to speak.
I can't tell you exactly what you should do next, but as for my personal opinion, you should stay the way you are. You shouldn't be influenced by any other color.
Didn't think he would say that, and I stared at Shiraishi. He realized that he said something unlike him, so he averted his eyes. Shiraishi, you're acting an awful lot like a Shiraishi I've never seen before.
I don't know what to do even if you say that. You're the one making me act strange.
I don't actually think I'm influencing you that much, Shiraishi.
I get the feeling that you're much more terrible than I am. You don't realize how insensitive, careless, and unpredictable you are.
That's not a compliment.
I intended it as one, though.
Jeez. Besides, Shiraishi, you're also... The conversation naturally transitioned into our typical banter. I continued eating the rolled omelet while we talked, and by the time it was gone, I found myself closing my eyes and leaning back on the sofa out of fatigue.